Hello, welcome to the news. We now have an update on the slaying of the couple in St. James. An alleged gangster and a woman believed to be his common-law wife were fatally shot in Salt Spring, St. James, on Thursday. News sources identified the two as 22-year-old Imani Jarrett of Refuge Lane, Flower Hill, St. James, and O'Dane Smith, 30, with addresses in Flower Hill and Lagwood Whithorn, Westmoreland. According to the sources, the two were passengers in a gray 2010 Toyota Wish motor car in the vicinity of Salt Spring Primary and Infant School. As they approached a speed bump near the school, the vehicle was accosted by 5 men armed with rifles and handguns. In a bid to escape, Jarrett and Smith attempted to flee from the vehicle but were chased and gunned down. The driver of the vehicle escaped unharmed. On their arrival on the scene, the police found Jarrett's body lying face down in the middle of Salt Spring Road, while Smith's body was found on the side of Hall Road. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. The sources said Smith was on a murder charge in relation to an incident that took place in 2020 in Westmoreland. He was scheduled to appear in court on November 9th to answer to that charge. He was also a suspect in relation to a murder that took place in September this year.
In terms of the children, they were nervous and panicky. Some children even peed and defecated on themselves because of the trauma, right? It's so sad that this had to happen in such close proximity to the school. Teachers and students are a little shaken up, right? So, it has been a day. When we heard children were under the tables, teachers were under their desks, we had to do that. It wasn't a good feeling today.
A second man of 3 charged with the murder of Philip Paulwell's 10-month-old daughter Sarah Yaw and her 27-year-old mother Tashina Patterson is expected to plead guilty to murder and kidnapping today in the Supreme Court. His plea will follow that of another man who, on Thursday, accepted a deal and pleaded guilty to murder and kidnapping in the double murder that shocked the country and triggered a parallel investigation by the United States Naval Criminal Investigative Service due to the fact that U.S. Navy culinary specialist seaman Leota Bradshaw has been charged in the matter. Bradshaw, who lives in the United States and shares a child with Paulwell, the Member of Parliament for Kingston East and Port Royal, was charged on October 13th with 2 counts of conspiracy to kidnap, 2 counts of conspiracy to murder, 2 counts of kidnapping, and 2 counts of capital murder. Her co-accused, 30-year-old graphic designer Roland Balfour was charged with conspiracy to murder, conspiracy to kidnapping and misprision of felon, while Roshane Miller, a 29-year-old air conditioning technician, was slapped with charges of conspiracy to murder, kidnapping, murder and misprision of felon, and Richard Brown, otherwise called Richie, was charged with conspiracy to murder, conspiracy to kidnapping and kidnapping. Due to security concerns, the man who took advantage of a plea deal on Thursday was not named. He was represented by attorneys Valerie Nada Robertson, King's Counsel, and Rita Allen Brown. On October 14th, the news reported that Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of crime Fitz Bailey had disclosed at a news conference the previous day that the mother and baby girl were brutally murdered and their bodies disposed of. He described the case as one of the most painful investigations for the team in recent times. The News Center report said that when Bradshaw appeared in court at a mention hearing on October 13th, prosecutors said the fact that 27-year-old Patterson had blocked Bradshaw from her social media account did not stop her from traveling here and conspiring with her cousin and co-accused Roland Balfour to contract men to kidnap and murder the mother and daughter. She learned of the existence of young Paulwell on Wednesday, the 5th of September 2023. Having learned of the existence of this child, she contacted Patterson on Facebook and informed her that she was the wife of Mr. Paulwell, and further that she learned of the existence of the young offspring of Mr. Paulwell. Miss Bradshaw advised Miss Patterson that a DNA test should be done to determine the paternity of the child. After this brief exchange, the deceased blocked the accused from her account that very day, a senior prosecutor told the court. The accused, who is domiciled overseas, traveled to Jamaica the very next day, September 6, 2023. The allegations are that she traveled to Jamaica for the sole purpose of killing Tashina Patterson and the young child she shared with her spouse. The Crown's allegations are that the accused, through her cousin and co-accused Roland Balfour, contracted men to kidnap and murder Patterson and Sarah Yaw, the prosecutor said further. According to prosecutors, Bradshaw met with men to arrange for the kidnappings and murders. The original plan was to kidnap Patterson and the baby from their home. Bradshaw paid the men the equivalent of 100,000 Jamaican dollars in United States currency as down payment for the execution of the crime. The remainder of the funds, $400,000, was to be paid after the completion of the deal, the prosecutors said. In preparation to execute their contract, the men, the court was told, went to the Gilmore Drive address in St. Andrew where Patterson lived, during the night of Wednesday, September 6, 2023, to scope out the area. They also went to the home where Bradshaw was staying in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. A further meeting was held on Thursday, September 7, 2023 to discuss the execution of the plan, the court heard. Prosecutors said that on Saturday, September 9, Bradshaw placed several calls and conversed with Patterson, with a view to lure her away from her premises. She afterwards arrived at Patterson's home at approximately 7 a.m. that fateful day. Evidentiary material shows Patterson exiting her premises and entering an SUV parked at her gate, along with her baby. Evidentiary material shows that she remained in this vehicle for over 15 minutes. The vehicle then drove off and left the area approximately 7:22 a.m. Patterson and Sarah never exited the vehicle prior to its leaving, the prosecutor told presiding Supreme Court Judge Justice Simone Wolf-Rees. The Crown's case is that Bradshaw took Patterson to Stony Hill in the vicinity of the home where she, Bradshaw, was staying. At this location, the accused handed over Patterson and her young child to Richard Brown and other persons who are yet to be apprehended. After this, Patterson and her young child were taken to.
You know, when you fight for people, as I have done, when you stand up against major corporations, all of them, when you do things to benefit the poor of this country, people resent you and people try to put you down. And some people say that Filippo is a bad luck. It's not bad luck. People are deliberately out there trying to undermine my achievements on behalf of the Jamaican people. But no worries. God is good every time.